Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. All right, well, let's just jump right into our topic. If you haven't seen the video footage of the illegal alien gangs, the Venezuelan migrant gangs that are basically taking over Aurora, Colorado, it's pretty astounding. The video footage, I mean, you can see this. We have a clip from the video footage in the thumbnail, and they're all carrying ARs, and they are trying to bust in on people's houses. Now, if that was happening here in Oklahoma, you would be like freaking out. Like people would be like, "No, not on my watch." But Colorado declared itself a safe haven for illegal immigrants.
Sanctuary state.
It's a sanctuary state. So why are you surprised when criminal elements come in? And again, they've been talking about this for a while. Venezuela is emptying its prisons and telling its prison population, go to America. We don't want to house you anymore. We don't have any money to house you. When Donald Trump said they're not sending their best and brightest, they're sending their criminals and their gangs. He wasn't wrong. They emptied their prisons. They all said, and a lot of people said they came this year. They've been here for a year now. These Venezuela gang elements. And Chad, you have that video pulled up that we watched this morning, do you?
I do. I'll pull it up, but also it's like, and there's also like, while this is happening, this like criminal element is happening here, where they're literally breaking into people's apartments, and they're basically it's extortion. They're making them pay. What's it called? What do they call that? Like what do they call it when the mafia does it?
Extortion.
Safety. Yeah, extortion. It's extortion tax. Yeah. About all these people, and as you can see here, and then there's a manhunt. So the cops aren't really doing anything about this right here, but there's a manhunt for a person who put up these signs that said blacks must sit at the back of the bus, Kamala Harris immigrants sit at the front of the bus, and have another one, a caution sign for Kamala Harris is illegal immigrants. And they have, of course, because hate speech laws are starting to become a thing here in the United States.
They're more important. Yeah, again, hate speech laws are more important than criminals taking over apartment complexes. And so this video that we were going to show you, so they're more interested in finding out who put up these signs, which is it's clearly a joke, but it's a joke that actually has some truth to it. And again, that's why jokes work. If there has to be some element of truth behind the joke. But I was watching a video this morning by this guy, and I'll see if we can find his what's his channel name? What's his YouTube channel name?
I'll let everybody know in just a second here. It is. Oh, we're gonna hit the exit. Channel is Tyler Overia.
Tyler Overia. He's the guy that goes out and does news interviews. He's got a whole lot of subscribers. He's got like 6 million subscribers. But he went to Aurora to see if it was true, like to see if it was this video footage we saw is as factual as it looks. And come to find out, it really is. Like, the guy went out and he did on-street interviews with people, and so he actually went out. The first person he interviewed was a Venezuelan migrant, and the guy said that it's pretty bad. And then he interviewed a bunch of other Venezuelans, and they said, no, it's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad. But when he interviewed Americans, they were like, all the Americans that live in that neighborhood are like, no, it's bad. It's really bad. Like, there's shootings every other day. They're robbing people. They'll come up to your car and act like they're going to clean your car for you 1 second, and then they'll have a handgun in your face the next. So these Venezuelan gangs are real. And so that was the thing we were talking. So when he interviews these Venezuelans that are there, they go, oh, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. So there's two possibilities. Actually, there might be three possibilities. The possibilities are, one, that the Venezuelans that he's interviewing are part of the gangs and they're just trying to make it look good. Two, criminality in Venezuela is so normal that the Venezuelans that he's interviewing are like, oh, yeah, it's really not that bad compared to where we're from. And number three is they're too afraid to say anything because they live in that neighborhood, and if they say or speak out against the Venezuelan gangs that live there, they'll be targeted by them.
Yes.
So those are the three possibilities, all of which are bad. Yeah. And it's why illegal immigration is so bad for the country and so bad for this nation. So, again, everybody he interviews, you can watch this video. I recommend you watch this video. You watch this video and you see all the Venezuelans are like, no, it's not bad, it's not bad, it's not bad. It's all dudes that he interviews. All the Venezuelans are dudes.
Well, here's another element that you're also forgetting is like they're moving, like people that they run out of those apartments, they move Venezuelan in. So, of course, the Venezuelans who get moved into an apartment from, a refugee camp or, whatever, homeless shelter or wherever they've got them stationed are going to be like, oh, yeah, these people are great. There's no problems here, because they're getting free housing because of these guys. So it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And as you said, all the people he interviews that are non-Venezuelan, which there's a couple of Venezuelans in this video.
Yeah, that's the one that's being truthful. That one right there. He's like, it's bad. It's not good. But yeah, all the other ones that he interviews, they're like, nope, it's fine. It's fine. So, and again, that's why I'm throwing out there. The possibilities are either they're too afraid to speak out, they're part of the gangs, or they're so used to crime culture that it's really, to them, it's not that bad.
Yeah, this is just a normal day in Venezuela.
Again, this is what happens when you import people whose values are antithetical to the values that we have in this country. But again, Democrats don't care if they just want the vote.
Yeah.
They're importing their new voter base because they are losing the black vote.
Yeah, and this also goes back to what we were talking about the other day regarding the housing, them giving like $150,000 to immigrants in California.
Yes.
Which, again, like they get these extra rights that we as citizens and taxpayers aren't getting.
Yeah, and you know what? We forgot to talk about this last week. Those immigrants stopped a school bus and were trying to get on a school bus.
Yeah.
A bunch of parents had to run out and intervene and like make sure immigrants didn't get on a school bus full of children.
Yeah.
I mean, one day you're going to have a bunch of that's not going to happen. A good Samaritan parent's not going to be able to run out there and prevent a whole bus. Like, I mean, there was like 15 illegal immigrants at a bus stop for kids, and they all tried to jump onto a school bus with a bunch of kids. Like, that's terrifying. I mean, just a bunch of illegal immigrants hopping on a bus. We don't know what their intentions were. Sure, a lot of people on the Democrat side are like, well, they were probably just trying to get to a different location. They don't know any better. They bring bussed around on school buses anyhow. It's like, what? But again, what if their intentions weren't pure? What if they were getting on that bus and they could have had a busload of kids that they could have kidnapped? And like, well, the bus driver keep them safe. Really, a bus driver's going to keep them safe? Like, they're your kids. They're not the bus driver's kids.
Yeah, looks like
he has no obligation to protect your kids.
I just looked it up. It looks like that was San Diego. It said a school bus stop at San Diego. 20 migrants attempted to enter a California bus picking up school children.
Yeah, that really happened. And again, you remember this. The police have no obligation to protect you. The police officers in our community are under zero obligation to protect you. Remember that. Anytime they get a call, they could say, I don't want to do it. Now, do most police officers do that because they want to? Yes, the police officers do the job because they want to do the job and they want to help. But remember this. They are absolutely under no obligation to protect you. It's the same way with, it's the same with the bus driver. This is why people who are like advocating for, we need to have social workers go out in the streets and try to stop crime. It's like, oh yeah, have social workers go out there and try to prevent crime. We don't need police officers to do that. So dumb. But again, this is what you get when you vote Democrat. This is the policies. This is what you're advocating for. Thank God Oklahoma's not a sanctuary state, but
yeah. We're definitely a transit state.
Yeah.
And this other part is like what we were talking about beforehand is they're importing a new voting block. As we saw from that Roseanne Barr thing, like they're literally giving them Social Security cards, driver's license, and registering them to vote with the Social Security card.
Yep.
And so that's where all these it was like that 400,000 like non-registered voters or ID identification voters are coming in at. So we've proven that. And why would and the big question is why would Democrats do this? And it's because they want people to vote for them that don't know the values of the country, don't know the history of the country. That is why. And it's something that should bother everybody, because if you don't know the history and legacy of your nation, they're just going to vote for the people who are like, oh, well, they're going to allow us to stay in the country.
These people are nice. They're the ones that are allowing. They're the ones that are voting us more rights. We want to vote for the people that are nice to us and vote us more rights. Why do we vote for the people that are trying to kick us out? Exactly. I know who I'd be voting for if I came here illegally. He said they are trying to change the demographics of this country, and they're trying to change the laws, and they're trying to vote in people who don't know and don't care about the legacy and history of our country.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care about the Second Amendment like we do. Half of Americans that are already here don't care about the Second Amendment. And now we're voting in, we're bringing in people who really don't know anything about the history of this country and really don't know anything about the Second Amendment.
That's another aspect that I didn't even think of taking it from it. Like, we're talking about a group of people that surrendered their gun rights to their government.
Yeah, Venezuelans, yeah.
So they always surrender their gun rights. I don't think there's any South American country
look at it
that
from
allows
a community.
guns.
Look at it from a community standpoint too. Let's say they're the Venezuelans who are all in this community here, right? They go, if these gang members just didn't have guns, we'd be a lot better off. And they'd be like, yeah, so let's vote away gun rights so these Venezuelan gang members can't have guns and the police will come in here and arrest them. Well, the gang members aren't going to give up their guns. And the police still aren't going into this neighborhood to police it properly, obviously, because the gangs have 100% control over it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's terrifying. Terrifying that this is the truth of the matter. And Democrats don't care.
Yeah, the governor said that it was just one of the city council woman was just being hysterical and blowing this out of proportion. Like, as we can see from the video that we're watching now, this is not blown out of proportion. These people have boarded up their doors to protect themselves.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at this.
Yeah. That's terrifying, but yeah, no, this is real. I mean, this guy went in here to do this. So again, go check out this guy's video, go check out this channel, and he went to go see if it was as bad as people say. And clearly it is. Now, he introduces a police officer at some point, and he says, it's always been bad, but he goes, it's not near as bad as people may perceive it to be, but it's still not good.
Mm-hmm. Well, even if it was bad beforehand, this is the one thing that always ticks me off, is like, it was bad beforehand. At least it was American bad. It was American citizens making it bad. It was American criminality that was bad.
Yeah.
This isn't even American criminals.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, folks, we import people from the third world. We import people from countries that are, like, again, we have a functioning trash service. These people in their country don't. Like, I'll give you an example. My girlfriend and her family are from Vietnam. I was asking her, what do you guys do with your trash? Like, what do you do in your country? Do you have a functioning, like a trash service there? And they're like, no. And I was like, well, she told me, what she told me that they do with their trash in Vietnam? They take bags of trash and they just throw it in the ocean. That's what they do in third world countries. Like, you're like, oh yeah, all countries are the same. All countries are equal. All countries have, like, all cultures are equal. You cannot tell me that. Like, they're like, no, we don't have anywhere to put it, so we just we take our garbage bags and toss them in the rivers and the oceans. It'll carry it out to sea. That's just one country that we know for sure. It's like that in other countries too.
India does that.
Yeah.
India throws all their trash and garbage in the rivers,
yeah,
which lead out to the oceans.
They throw dead bodies in rivers.
Yeah. Like, we're seeing those huge, everyone's like, they think it's America. All the lefties have you believe it's America, but those big, like, islands of garbage and floating trash is usually like India, China, and like all the other, like, South Asian countries.
Yeah, they don't give a dang. So people just have a very warped view. Like, we have a very that's one thing I like about Europeans. They'll say you have a very American-centric view of the world, and that's a good thing to say. It's like, well, we are the best country in the world, but the point being, Americans rarely look outwards. Like, we don't understand the problems around the world. We're like, again, if climate change is the biggest issue in the world, then the issues that you think that are huge around you are not as big as you think. Again, when people are just trying to figure out what they should do with their trash in third world countries. So, either way, we'll hop off this subject and we'll move on to some other stuff.
Absolutely. Said, but sticking in the kind of the same area, like the Kamala Harris bringing in all these illegal immigrants and just making all the wrong decisions. We're talking about the Gold Star family issue where Trump went to the funeral of those families, mm-hmm. and how the media is saying that he got into apparently a scuffle with somebody there, which seems fake to me, or one of his staff did. And then the other thing that supposedly happened was the army, one of the army military Facebook pages denounced it, said this is not, what anything happens. Like, I think that any president coming to a former or not would be considered an honor to be there. And two, so they're playing it off like the Democrats are playing it off like he wasn't supposed to be there and he wasn't invited. Well, as we can see from the videos that I'm about to queue up, the Gold Star families invited Trump to be there, and they went through all the rigmarole to bring him there and allow him to be there. So I'll pull this stuff up real quick. Let me see here. Pull back up. Wow, that's a lot.
But yeah, this is it's pretty eye opening what you're about to see. The whole these Gold Star. So again, if you remember the pullout of the Bagram Air Force Base, and you remember that those 13 Marines lost their lives who were guarding the gate and were trying to process American personnel out of the country, and then somebody had a suicide bomb go off by the front gate, killing again 13 American service members. These are those families that were at this memorial service, and again, no Democrats were there, but Trump showed up. And of course the media weaponized the whole. Trump's just doing it to weaponize, he's just trying to politically weaponize this against the Kamala Harris. It's like, well, Kamala could have showed up and done it with Trump, and that would have been a really good coming across the lines moment. It's like where two opponents can shake hands and say, we're here for veterans, we're here honoring our service members, our brothers and sisters in arms who have lost their lives. But no, they were like, no, we can't be bothered to go to that, even if there's a political opponent there. It's like, what happened whenever both political parties could show up to the same event and still be cordial and do something for the troops? But no, they can't do that.
It says here saying here that he disrespected sacred ground by making it a political stunt, even though the family's invited him there, which I'm about to pull that. Kamala Harris.
Oh.
So I'm getting ready to pull that video up. I just wanted to see the video of the families being, of all the pictures and stuff of the families being there.
I gotcha.
Let me see here, and then I'll pull back up. Here we go. Just a quick video of the Gold Star families.
Let it fly.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin.
Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader.
President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day, and they were comfort to our family.
That's just a few.
Yeah, that's just a few of the families that were there. I mean, there was 8. There's a huge video that's going around of
it's like
all
20 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes long of all the families talking about him being there and how they invited him and how they respect him and how they haven't heard one thing from the Biden or Harris thing since the event happened, which that was over 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
So they haven't heard anything. They weren't at. That's what they said. They weren't at the airport to receive the bodies. They didn't show up there. They didn't show up to that funeral there. They couldn't be bothered. Biden was on vacation. There's proof that he is in vacation, like in New Hampshire or something, at the beach. And then Kamala Harris is doing her campaign stuff. And who showed up? Former President Donald Trump. And then the only thing that people have said about him doing this is that it was his plan to withdraw. But if anybody knows, his plan had stipulations in it that said that if the Taliban doesn't meet these requirements, we're not pulling out. Well, so that's what he said. He goes, we wouldn't have pulled out because they weren't meeting the things even when the first agreement was made. And then Joe Biden, to make a statement, pulls out of Afghanistan on 9/11 to make a political statement. That's what this was. And they're playing it off like it was Trump's fault.
Yep. Like I said, zero accountability from the Democrats to the Biden administration. Again, it's a lot like what happened during the January 6th riots. Whenever they had that video of Nancy Pelosi going, "This is my fault. Like, this is on me. I'm supposed to have accountability, for all this." And then after they realized they could politically weaponize, say, "Oh no, well Trump called for this, so it's his fault. It's his fault." And it's like, well, no, Nancy Pelosi is the one who allows the National Guard to be released to do certain jobs, and she said no.
100% on that. And that's the thing, is like everything's Trump's fault, nothing's the Democrats' fault. Democrats have never done anything wrong since the day that they were born.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but don't got a lot else, and we're already at the 22-minute marker. But you want to go ahead and go into the more like lighthearted stuff?
Yeah, I might as well.
All right, I'll pull these up, and you can let the people know what this is, like Freedom Tunes.
Yeah, so Freedom Tunes has been crushing it lately with his Kamala Harris stuff. His Kamala Harris cackle and the way he animates her laughing is it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So whenever Chad gets this video queued up and ready to play, you guys can see what I'm talking about. it's so good. And he really does a great job of encapsulating the awkwardness of Kamala Harris. And it's really good. So Freedom Tunes is, like I said, he's on point. His political satire is absolutely fantastic. So whenever you're ready, Chad, we can get this thing rolling.
You got it.
Let me tell you guys about I have a plan. An incredible plan to lower inflation. If you like me, inflation is gone.
Wow.
That's incredible.
It's true, I am.
Why can't you just do it now?
Again, it's so good because
Next topic, the border.
she's in office now. She can make the changes now.
If you like me, I've got a plan to stop all the border crossings.
Amazing.
What a leader.
Visionary.
Why can't you start on that now? Next question. What do you plan to do about the war in Ukraine?
Oh, I'm gonna fix the war. The war is gonna be fixed.
Truly amazing.
You can do that?
Sent from the heavens she is.
You had 4 years to do that. Why can't you do that now? Why haven't you done that? You won't do anything because you don't care about the American people. No, we cannot do everything all at once. Patience is needed.
What if we tax people selling their homes at 44%?
The time for action is now.
Yeah, that's a perfect representation. Go ahead and play the next one. The time for action is now. And they're shaking down the American people for their tax dollars.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, play it.
Meet your new Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris.
Why would you nominate her? Wasn't she the border czar over all of this?
She was never the border czar.
The borders are.
Don't you have all these articles saying she was? In this document from Congress.gov?
You are forgetting that she was the border czar.
You're forgetting it.
Oh, fine. Okay. Well, what about this bail fund for rioters in 2020 that she promoted?
She never donated to a BLM bail fund.
Ow. I literally have her tweet promoting the exact bail fund right here.
No, you do not.
She said we have to defund the police.
No, she didn't.
What? It was like her whole platform.
No, it wasn't.
You're denying things we all saw. There are records.
No, there aren't.
No record.
She was ranked the single most liberal senator in the country.
No, she was not.
You can't gaslight voters into...
Kamala Harris is conservative.
What?
She was ranked the most conservative senator.
America great again.
How can you erase her entire history?
I can imagine what will be unburdened by what was.
Kamala 2.0 is a new creation. Kamala 2.0 is appealing. With Kamala 2.0, we will reach the broadest and most important mass of the electorate.
I'm a brat. It's brat summer in the coconut tree.
Permanently online homosexuals.
Good luck.
Oh man, yeah, that's Jameis of Freedom Tunes. His political commentary is absolutely on point, fantastic. You should check out all of his stuff. It ages very well. Like I said again, for whatever reason, Republican or right-leaning political satire ages very well. Left-leaning people, the left can't meme, but left-leaning or Democrat political cartoons don't age very well. So that's about all we got for you today. Again, we try to end light, but like I said, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world out there. So we just try to keep you informed of what's going on, but we also try to keep it light too. So that being said, this is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. We are signing off. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.